Dolph Ziggler, Matt Riddle, Mustafa Ali. Where are these former WWE superstars going to show up next? Keep watching if you want to know where I think. What's up, my peoples? Welcome to Everything is Wrestling, the show where I talk about how all things lead back to the world of professional wrestling. I am your host, Joel Fernandez, and I want to talk about the WWE releases from 2023 and where they're going to show up next, right? So back in the end of September, we had a couple of releases. We had Dolph Ziggler, we had Mustafa Ali, we had Matt Riddle, and we had plenty of other guys and gals who were released from WWE, and now their 90-day complete clause is coming up soon, and they're going to start showing up in all these different promotions, right? So I wanted to talk about where I think they should go, how I would book them, and going forward, where do we go from here, right? So first off, let's talk about Dolph Ziggler, right? One of the best in-ring wrestlers that we've seen in the last couple of years. He's always been kind of underutilized. He was a world heavyweight champion in WWE, but now he kind of has done everything that he could over there. So he's now ready to branch out and do his thing, spread his wings, which is kind of cool to see someone later in their career get that freedom. He was someone that I think we all expected would be a WWE like lifer and just stay there forever. But now that he's free, we get to see what he could do outside of that WWE machine. So for me, I think the best place for him to land would be AEW. He already has his brother there, Ryan Nemeth, Dolph Ziggler, aka Nick Nemeth. They could become the Nemeth Bros and just become a tag team, which we need. We need more fresh face tag teams in AEW. It would be cool to see them go up against the tag team champions currently, Ricky Starks and Big Bill. It would be cool to see them go against Young Bucks. It would be cool to see them go against FTR, the Lucha Bros. There's plenty of tag teams that they could go up against, and it would be really fun matchups. I think you could debut them as a random tag team, maybe like Starks and Big Bill are in the ring asking for opponents, and we hear Ryan Nemeth come out, and then we hear Nick Nemeth come out right after as like a big surprise. I think that'd be a cool way to introduce him. We do have AEW's World's End coming in the end of December, on December 30th, the pay-per-view, and I think it would be cool because right now Kenny Omega is out, so he won't be able to compete in the tag team match with Chris Jericho against Starks and Big Bill. So maybe you could debut Dolph Ziggler, aka Nick Nemeth, there, where Starks and Big Bill are in the ring looking for an opponent. Nobody's there. They're about to walk out. Ryan Nemeth comes out. He says that he has a partner. Ricky Starks and Big Bills can make fun of him, saying like, "Who wants to tag with you? Nobody wants to tag with you." By then, the crowd will probably already know, and the anticipation will be built. And out comes out Nick Nemeth. I don't know if they have the rights to get the "I'm here to show the world" song. I don't think so, because I think it is owned by WWE. But that'd be amazing if they have something like that, something similar to that song that gives people that pop, like, oh snap, Dolph Ziggler is here, aka Nick Nemeth. The Nemeth Bros are here to tag. This will elevate his brother Ryan Nemeth, since he's not really a well-known name. He's not a household name. He's spent most of his matches in AEW Dark or jobbing off to Wardlow. But he's a pretty good wrestler, and it'd be cool to see him get elevated and tag with his brother. And brother tag teams are always fun. You could then feud with the Bucks since they're a brother tag team. You could feud with Austin and Colton Gunn since they're a brother tag team. You could feud with the Hardy Boys. You could feud with Penta and Ray Phoenix since they're brothers. Like, there's a bunch of brothers tag teams in AEW, and I think it'd be pretty cool to have another brother tag team in there, another dynamic like that. And then they are both stand-up comedians, I believe, and they both do improv and things like that. So you could have some comedic skits to get both of them over. And I think slowly you'll have them supported by the fans. Obviously, you're gonna have Nick Nemeth supported right away, just because he's always been like a darling in the internet wrestling community. So you could see them both becoming like a team that you want to root for and win the championship eventually, win the tag team championships eventually. And then from there, you could even have Dolph Ziggler have a singles run, feud with someone like Orange Cassidy, let's say, for the international championship. Or you could see him going against MJF or Darby Allin. Like, there's so many matches that we've never seen before, and I think it would be really cool to have a bunch of these type of match style conflict, and we'll see different things that we've never seen from Dolph Ziggler before, and it could be really cool. Besides that, another big name that was released was Mustafa Ali. I think he's another great wrestler that could be in AEW. He fits the style perfectly. I would have him debut right away and go after Orange Cassidy for the international belt. I think that's a great matchup. I think he fits that championship perfectly. I could see him even beating Orange Cassidy and becoming the workhorse for that company and just have him put on banger matches every single week against people like Swerve, Will Ospreay, like the amount of dream matches you could have with Mustafa Ali as your international champion could be amazing. You could have him versus Malachi Black, for example, him versus Brody King, him versus Buddy Matthews. There's like all these matches that we might have seen before, but now on a stage like AEW where they have time to wrestle for, let's say, 20 minutes at a time, you could have some great banger matchups. You could have him versus El Hijo de Vikingo. You could have him versus Kenny Omega, him versus Kyle Fletcher, him versus Bryan Danielson. There's so many great matches you could see. Him versus Roderick Strong, him versus Hangman. Like, the amount of matches are, there's so many. I could keep listing them off forever and I wouldn't run out. So I think that'd be a great person to bring into AEW. Yeah, they do have a bloated roster already, but it would be a great fresh face and it's someone that the fans have always wanted to root for and will always want to see him on a big stage. So why not give him a title belt right off the gate and just have him run with that belt and become like the best international champion ever. And then, oh man, you could even have him versus Pac, which would be amazing. Sorry, I'm getting so passionate about this, but I'm a big Mustafa Ali fan. I think he would be great in AEW. So I hope that does end up happening. And then another big name that did get released was Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle has said that he wants to show up in New Japan. I think that'd be amazing. For my bet, I think I would have him go to Ring of Honor if possible and just have him become the like badass in Ring of Honor, right? Like he's a MMA fighter, a former MMA fighter. So imagine him going after the pure belt and just defeating Wheeler Yuta with a bunch of grapples and submissions. He's a submission specialist. Like he could do a bunch. So I think he wasn't really he was kind of portrayed as just this like bro in WWE, but have him come in as like a badass MMA fighter and just have him go after some Ring of Honor belts and just take over that title, that show, and give him that show as the star power. And yeah, a lot of fans are kind of off on Matt Riddle, so maybe you put him over there instead of putting him on AEW TV, and you slowly maybe you could bring him into AEW. Feuding with someone like a Yuta could lead to him feuding with Claudio Castagnoli or Bryan Danielson or even Moxley, and just having these hard fought matches. I think him in a match against Mox, just beating the crap out of each other, could be great. Just making him more of a serious wrestler instead of just a bro, I think could be really cool. So I think that would be where he would go best, maybe somewhere like Ring of Honor. I could also see him maybe going to like Impact or TNA and becoming a star there since they don't have many big names there. But him versus like a Josh Alexander could be pretty cool. Or him versus Alex Shelley. There's a lot of great matchups you could do there. Him versus Moose would be pretty awesome. And then you just let him kind of elevate everyone else who's there. But yeah, besides that, there's also Shelton Benjamin who got released, and I think he is obviously a veteran, so I don't know how much he has left in the tank, but he's still a great wrestler, and I think he was underutilized as well in WWE. But if you have him go to maybe New Japan again, since he does have roots there, that could be cool. I could see them bringing him into AEW, maybe as a more of a coach role or producer role, and still have some great matches from time to time. But it would be cool if he was more of a backstage hand to help wrestlers in their wrestling skills, because he's one of the best wrestlers I've ever seen. Leading back to his days on SmackDown earlier, when he was part of the world's greatest tag team with Charlie Haas, like under Team Angle, Kurt Angle. But I think he could be really a good hand no matter what company he lands. So that'd be really cool to see Shelton Benjamin get like that recognition that he deserves. But yeah, besides that, there was a couple other wrestlers who were released back then, so I'm pretty excited to see where they all land. We have like Riddick Moss, Elias, Rick Boogs, Emma, Aaliyah. There was a lot of wrestlers, Top Dollar. I hope they all end up getting work wherever they go, and I'm pretty excited. Like the non-complete clause should be coming up at the end, towards the end of December. So we're gonna start seeing a lot of these wrestlers show up in all these places, and it's gonna be fun to follow along. And if you want to keep following along with me as well, just remember to like, comment, and subscribe here. Let me know where you think these guys are gonna head up, where these gals are gonna head up, and let me know if you think there's anything that I missed. So yeah, keep watching.